100 billion transistors on your fingernail.
Stop.
IBM just did it. Sub-1 nanometer. It's real.
And nobody's talking about this enough.
We read everything. And there are two things that nobody's really sitting with yet.
And one of them should genuinely scare chip makers.
Okay, so June 25th, 2026. IBM Think event. And they walk out and go, we built a chip at the 0.7 nanometer node.
0.7.
Right? Which they're calling the 7 angstrom node.
Because 1 nanometer is 10 angstroms. So.
Exactly. They just rebranded the unit.
I mean, is that a flex or a dodge?
Both. Honestly, both.
Okay, but here's what got me, the fingernail thing. They're fitting nearly 100 billion transistors on a chip the size of a human fingernail.
100 billion.
100 billion. Like, I kept rereading that.
And look, for context, IBM's 2 nanometer chip, which they announced back in 2021, and which was already considered insane at the time.
Right. That was a huge deal.
These new one is twice the transistor density.
Twice. In 5 years.
5 years. Twice as dense.
Okay, so how? Like, how do you physically do that?
So this is the part that I kept going back to. They invented something called a nanostack architecture.
Nanostack.
And instead of laying transistors flat on a single layer, you stack them vertically. 2 layers on the silicon chip.
You go up.
You go up. When you can't go smaller, you go up.
I don't know, there's something almost obvious about it in hindsight, but it's not.
It's really not. Because to pull this off, they had breakthroughs in, bear with me, wafer bonding, SRAM scaling, and channel material innovation, all 3 simultaneously.
That's not one breakthrough. That's 3.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And here's the thing, the numbers that come out of this architecture are kind of staggering. 70% more energy efficient than the 2 nanometer chips from 2021.
70%?
And up to 50% faster.
Wait, seriously? Both? At the same time?
I mean, usually it's a trade-off, right? You want speed, you burn more power.
Always. That's always the deal.
And they're claiming they broke that trade-off.
Yeah, if that holds up.
That's the thing. It's a prototype. Still a prototype.
Right? So it won't be in production for
several years. They're upfront about that.
Which is actually kind of refreshing. IBM just going. Yeah, this isn't in your phone next year.
Honestly, yeah. No fake launch date.
So let's talk about the size comparison, because I need people to actually feel this.
Oh, do the red blood cell one.
Okay, so a human red blood cell, which is already microscopic, right? You need a microscope to see it.
Right.
As about 7,000 nanometers wide.
7,000.
These transistor nodes are 0.7 nanometers.
So the blood cell is roughly
10,000 times larger.
10,000 times.
10,000 times larger than the thing doing the computing.
I don't have a word for that scale.
There isn't one. That's the problem.
It's like, how do I even... Yeah, it's just wild.
And here's where I want to push back a little. The node name thing. The 0.7 nanometer. Label. It doesn't actually mean the transistors are physically that size, right?
Okay, yeah, this is important, and I'm glad so in the 70s and 80s, node numbers did correspond to actual physical dimensions.
Right? Like they meant something literal.
Now they're more of a marketing generation label.
So when IBM says 0.7 nanometers,
it's a node name, a benchmark category. It doesn't mean every feature is literally 0.7 nanometers wide.
Which is Okay, that's frustrating, but also the actual achievement is still real.
The achievement is absolutely real. Yeah, the density numbers, the efficiency numbers, those are verified. The naming is just the industry.
The industry does what the industry does.
All right, so 10 to 15 years.
Say more.
Dan Hutchison, Vice Chair of Tech Insights, he looked at this nanostack architecture and said, it puts another 10 to 15 years on the semiconductor roadmap.
10 to 15 years?
Like Moore's Law was supposed to be dying.
Everyone's been writing that obituary for a decade.
And IBM just didn't get the memo, apparently.
Okay, but here's what I keep thinking about. The implications for AI specifically, because
Oh, yeah,
everything in AI right now is bottlenecked by compute and energy. Those are the two walls.
and this chip is 50% faster.
And 70% more efficient.
At the same time,
Yeah. So if this gets to production scale, the AI compute conversation looks completely different.
the data center energy conversation looks different.
The mobile AI conversation looks different.
Everything downstream of chip density gets affected. Everything.
Which is why the several years away thing actually matters. Because that runway is real.
What to watch? IBM's production timeline. When do they announce a fab partner? Because right now, this is a research prototype.
Right? And IBM doesn't mass manufacture chips the way TSMC or Samsung does.
So who picks this up? That's the next story.
And does the nanostack architecture get licensed? Does it get copied? Does everyone pivot to vertical?
Those are the questions that'll define the next 5 years of this industry.
Also watch for the independent verification. IBM says these numbers. Third parties need to,
Yeah, Tech Insights and others will dig in.
and that'll be the real test.
Okay, bottom line.
Bottom line,
IBM built something that shouldn't be possible yet.
100 billion transistors on a fingernail.
Vertical stacking, 2 layers, 10,000 times, smaller than a red blood cell.
And potentially 10 to 15 more years of chip progress we were told wasn't coming.
It's a prototype, years from your hands.
But the physics just got rewritten.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the whole thing.
If you're not following this story, start today.
Subscribe to the Tech Pod. We'll track every update.
Links to all the IBM Research and Ars Technica and MAT Tech Review coverage are in the show notes.
Go read them. Seriously.
See you next time.
Later.